Well, it's your boy, Coach Low for Life, aka the Camp King, and we're back again, and we're live with Sports Club Florida. And as we come to you with all the great information, all the stars, all the top talent right there in Central Florida. And sometimes you might get it from the college world, you might get it from the NF world. But tonight, we're going to give it to you right here in Central Florida, breaking down some of the top teams. But I can't do it by myself. I have to have my man with the plans for R&R, the man you know. You know what it is. Coach Katt, what's going on?
Man, y'all know what it is. Coach Katt is in the building. Make sure you follow all of our social media platforms. That's R&R Sports Media, Coach Low for Life, and none other than Sports Club Florida. But today we have a couple of great topics for you guys today. That's the games of the weeks. We have three good ones for you. Um, what else do we have, Coach?
Well, you look at one thing, you got to look at this right here. We can't do it and we can't make it roll, can't make it move without Mr. Right Choice right there and making sure we diving in live right there on Sports Club Florida. We're going to top into the game of the week. We're also going to top in some breakdown of the top coaches, top players. And you know what? Might have some treat for you. Give some live insight on some college boys that's getting ready to rock and roll this weekend. And hey, don't forget about our very finest NFL boys right here that make that 53-man roster. But that all coming up very soon. Coach Katt, let's go ahead and get into it. Break down the three games of the week that we're going to go ahead and dice and slice.
So our games of the week. First game is a big game. Apopka versus Evans. This matchup is not a stranger. But I will say this that Apopka has the edge on this one. They in the history. I would say Apopka has taken this game many more times than the Trojans. But coach, who do you think will take away this game this time?
Well, I mean, before I even get into that, I do have to break down a little bit, right? You know, we talk about the
Okay.
history because I am a Popka guy, right? But at the same time, just keep it straightforward. You know what I mean? I played against Evan High School all of my high school years, and it was some battles going on back then. But this goes all the way back into some of the, to my opinion, some of the best coaches that ever even came out of this area, which is the Gerke brothers, right? Coach Chip Gerke at a Popkin, Coach Bill Gerke at Evans High School. They are football. When you think about football in Central Florida, you think about them two coaches right there. They have produced some of the best athletes. I probably have the most NFL players all together back from the 1980s all the way to now that go on and play. I'm talking about first round draft picks and all from the two strong program because they have that rich tradition, that rich history. Like Apopka have that history and that rich tradition of Apopka, and then you have Pine Hills, well, always been the Evans, history. Everybody in the area went to these schools, and they competed in every sport, but football was the answer. And a packed house, every stadium, 5,000 in the stand. But then there's been a lot of changes over the years. As you can see, both of them has retired. New coaches has stepped in and took over the helm at these programs. Apopka been kind of steady with Rick Darlington on down to now the head coach, Coach Rosen. But then Evan had a couple of coaches from the Thompson and a couple of the coaches that came through. But now they do have a coach that great in the community, Coach Odom, and he doing some great things. As you can see, Park went to Evans went to the playoff last year. But I don't know if I want to give you my pick right now. I want to let's break down the team a little bit more
Oh Lord,
before I give you
okay.
my pick.
Let's talk a little bit about last week and what they did last week. Last week, Apopka did take on the Ocoee Knights, and that game was not a barn burner, only putting up 10 points, but it was 10-0. The Apopka defense, like always, pitches a shutout. But Evans, on the other hand, did not play due to the inclement weather that we all were experiencing last week. But you sure you don't want to give your pick? You sure you
I,
don't want to give your pick?
Man, no, man, because I know why. If I give the pick it, man, we're gonna move on. So I want to kind of, save it right to the end. Make sure I'm making that right pick. If I don't
Favorite?
want to, I don't want
You
to be
want a
biased.
favorite?
If I want to
Okay,
pick,
do you give me a couple of the players from the Apopka Pocket team if you do know any of those.
Oh, well, let me tell you something right now. On the flyer itself, you got Noah Morgan, and everybody's, I guarantee you, O'Coy came in with a game plan to stop Noah Morgan because when they did go down there and play Tampa Tech, which is a very good team down there, and Apoca did lose, of course, not a so friendly score, but at the same time, Noah Morgan was running all over the place. And when you got a kid that's doing that against a top team like Tampa Tech, you got the game plan for him. And I'm quite sure that was a game plan for O'Coy without no ifs and buts about it. But then on the flip side of it, they look at the pocket didn't stop Tampa Tech, but they do have a linebacker there that got multiple offers and some D1 offer as a Shaw. I mean, he is that kid there he's a monster. He's a
That's number
specimen.
15.
Yes,
Number
but
15.
at
Yes, sir.
15. But you know what? Here's what's interesting. Miles Fieldings, the brother of, the son of Anthony Fielding, who played in the league. And let me tell you something. Miles Fielding shut down the number one wide receiver at Tampa Tech. He held him to one catch. And this kid here is a definitely a Power 5 wide receiver. So even though Okoye wasn't doing a whole lot of throwing around, but at the same time, that was the game plan. So we knew they all were going to have some top players. So when you look at it, you're looking at Noah Morgan, you're looking at Miles Fielding, you're looking at Shaw. But here's the thing. In that game there alone, the quarterback for Parker Davidson rose to the top. He rose to occasion, and he the one that moved him up and down that field and get him closer to the end zone to put it in from there. So there were some notable players right there on the Parker side of the ball. But now, on the other side of the ball, you have who? The Evan Trojans, right? Evan Trojan you got Odom, and he putting some great things together over there with him and Coach Malcolm, but they have a
Coach
horse.
Malcolm.
Yeah, they have a horse over there. They have a horse. I mean, this kid right here, Ladarius Pryor is a horse.
G4.
He's sitting on Pitt, University of Pitt, West Virginia. He got some Power 5 offers over there, and when he gets it, that's an 18-wheeler all gas and no brakes coming down the hill. And they put the ball in his hand, and they put the team on his back, and he carried like he carrying a sack of potatoes. So when all said and done, it's going to be a real game, and a game going to be physical and all in the trenches from what I see when it come down to it. Tremaine, I know you there. You got a lot of insight over there. Give me your thoughts on Evans High
Well,
School.
well,
Yes,
real
sir.
quick, I like Evans' defense. They got around about. I talked to the kids today. About 5 kids that came from Wakava. I can see the big difference
Okay.
in the culture changing at Evans. I like number 5. I think it's Roberts. He's the middle linebacker. Makes a big difference on
Yeah.
the defense. The defense is really good. Only thing they're lacking on offense, I like to be transparent, be real. The quarterback play is probably pretty tough on the Evans offensive side of the field. The Darius is great running back. I also like number 3 too as well. Vontae, he's out there on the corner as well, 3-star. The crazy thing about Ladarius, he has no for all his offers, he don't have no stars as of right now, which is crazy for how good he
He
is.
doesn't have any stars at all.
No, he might have some.
Uh,
If he do, he got some now. But beginning of the season, he have any with all the offers that he's been piling getting in. But I like Evans. I like Evans on this. Like I said, I love the defense. I love the energy they have. Like I said, from Lane to Odom, I've been following for like the last 3 or 4 years. I have definitely seen a change in the culture in Evans, and you can definitely tell by the wins that have been gathering year over year. So I definitely see a good upside to them this year. I talked to the kids today, and I asked them about the 2 games last year they played. They said the first game they played, they got blown. They basically lost. They said they wasn't their mindset wasn't in it. But the second game
Okay.
that they played in the playoffs, they should have actually won that game. I think they messed up. I forgot what he told me, like a goal line play or a fourth down play or something like that, messed up the momentum of the
What
game
was
that
the
they should have.
final score?
I can't remember the final score, but it was like very close
All
though.
right. Okay.
you know
Uh,
what?
It,
I just
it's
want
a
to chime.
playoff team.
Yeah, I
Go
just
ahead.
want to chime in right there, if you don't mind, guys. Right here,
Go ahead.
it's something that you said. You talk about like multiple guys that transfer into Evans, and I think that's what changing the game for Park and Evans too, because you really don't know what to expect when you line up this early in the season. Right, you play one game, and then you come back the next week. You don't have opportunity to plan the game, but then how do you really prepare for a team that got 4 or 5 transfer in from this school, might got a transfer in for another school? Park a little different, not a whole lot of transfers going into Apopka. Ones that's there, they're just there, and they're gonna just take care of the ones on the field and prepare them for any game. So it's kind of interesting when you're going early in the season playing this game. It's hard to pick who's gonna win. How you pick on to win? And these guys got 10 new players on the team, so that transfer report is big, even in high school. So it's a tough one. If I take the blue out of it, hey, that's one thing. But if I cut myself right now, I might start bleeding blue. But pound for pound, pound for
Oh
pound,
Lord.
hey, pound for pound of what I seen they did with Okoye, and Okoye got a defense gonna fly around. They're a sleeper defense. Probably got one of the best secondary in the business right now. So I think I'm ready to give my pick for one of the games of the week out of Popka Blue Darters and Evan Trojans.
Well, I got Evans,
Go
so you
ahead.
already know that.
My pick is a Popka Blue Darters.
Oh, what a surprise. Okay, Tremaine is choosing Evans. Um, my choice, just thinking about it, it's going to be a hard fought battle either way. It's going to be a heavy run game. The defenses will be tested, especially the trenches and that front eight. Um, but I'm gonna go with tradition and the Apopka daughter right, daughter left. This is a system that has been known, has been passed down from generation to generation, and there's nothing new for them to actually learn. Um, but for the on the other side with Evans, yes, they have new pieces, and with new pieces always comes variables that we don't know or just leave us unsure. So I do think it will be a very close game. I think the game will be decided within 7 points. Um, but I will say the Apopka Blue Darters will walk away with this win. All right.
well, there
Now,
you have
All right
it.
then. All right then.
now on to the next game.
All
Our
right
next
then.
game is going to be between the Edgewater Eagles versus the TFA Royals. Both of these teams are coming off of impressive wins, with Edgewater taking a trip all the way over to London to take on the NFL Academy. They did win that game. The score was 96 points on the board. Oh my gosh. Uh,
That's
it
crazy.
was 51 to 46.
45. Yes.
But excuse me, 45. But
45.
the Edgewater Eagles did pull away with that win. All right. On the other hand, TFA also went on a road trip all the way up to Nashville, Tennessee to face the Liscum Mustangs, in which they did win that game decisively. The score was 28 to 23. At halftime, the score was 21 to 3. But the Liscum defense forced a couple
NFL Academy.
turnovers.
NFL Academy defense. Who are we talking about now?
No, we're talking about TFA. We're
Oh,
talking
that's
about
right.
TFA.
Yes,
All
yes.
right, the Lipscomb defense was excessively potent in the second half, and they forced a couple turnovers and allowed their offense to get into scoring range. But the TFA defense did come up when it needed to, big, and on the legs of their quarterback Solomon Georges. He was able to score twice in that game. So, Coach, both of these teams coming off of two big time wins for these programs, and never have they ever seen each other on the field. This is
Mm-mm.
the first time that they get to see each other. Who do you like in this matchup? Talk about them. Talk about Edgewater. Let's talk about Edgewater first. Um, which do you like better, their offense or their defense? Which is their
Well,
strong point?
of course, it's already defense. Edgewater throwing up 51 points against a team, that's a well-known team up in up there in Ireland. It's England. It's great to see them go in and compete and line up after 8-9 hour flight. We do the walkthrough, look at the scenery, and then they go in and compete against a team that win back down, that's willing to fight against these Florida boys and give them a very good game. You know what I'm saying? So Edgewater definite offense. It's a potent offense. And they're gonna put up points. And like I said before, you line up against Edgewater, you're not gonna turn there thinking, you know what, we're just gonna beat them easily because the defense might be giving us some points. What you're gonna say is we better outscore them because they is gonna score. I'd be shocked if anyone gonna be able to come in and just totally shut down an offense like that with the high power offense they got and with the quarterback and receivers and the running back and a line that can get the job done.
Okay. Now, Coach, um, which to be honest, we know that Edgewater is a heavy run. They're usually a heavy run team. Okay. This year they have a All American at the helm, in Mr. Emmanuel. Talk about a couple of his weapons and how do you feel about that offensive attack?
Well, I tell you one thing, with the experience that Emmanuel have is just amazing. Being a freshman All American or Adidas All American, split time as a freshman over at Lake Nona, and then the next year started at Lake Nona and came over to Edgewater with some stronger weapons around him to help him just continue to grow. And then you got an opportunity to drop back there and either hand it off to his former teammate that was at Lake Nona that came over there with him, the running back Joshua Perry. And to my opinion, when I look at everything, the top three running backs in Central Florida, if you're not include maybe the Cocos and guys like that, Joshua Perry definitely is one of the running back can get it done. He's a 10-9, 11 flat 100-meter guy that can hit the hole in one cut and get it from hash number sideline and take it down the sideline. I have not seen him get ran down because he got a second gear that he can get into the end zone. So you got to prepare for Joshua Perry. But then at the same time, don't let him pull it with an RPO because now you got Carter Manuel that can actually pull it and hit the corner himself because he also can run and not afraid to run. Because Evan is like quarterback that actually can pick up some runs, so they got to always do the wildcat. But what make it more amazing is when you got lined up at one time, you have speed like 2 10 6 100 meters, 10 900 meters, and 11 100 meters lined up at the exact same time. You got a 4x1 relay.
Mhm.
That's a 4x1 relay flying down the field. And so I got Tyson Carter, FIU commit with a 10-6. I got Samaj Fleming with a 10-6 of Boston College. I got a Brandon Paul that's sitting on a couple off with a 10-9, right? So you got these guys right there, just speed everywhere. So you can't double team. You got to play sound defense, drop in a great zone to make it happen. So, I mean, every game, anything possible, they can strike at any time when all said and done.
Hey, and you are absolutely right. I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorites is their receiving core, their tandem in Samaj Fleming and Mister we call him Tech Tyson Carter. These two are electric when the ball is in their hands. We do know that Edgewater is gonna score. It's gonna score points, but let's talk a little bit about the other side. Okay. Um, TFA. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think that this TFA team, one of their strong points is their defensive line. And I think that their line and linebackers will take this game on extremely prideful. Um, do you believe, let me pitch a question for you. Under or over 150 yards, Mr. Perry.
Well, I tell you one thing with TFA, one thing you got to admit. Once again, we talked about transfers coming in and playing football at other programs, so you
Yeah.
really don't know what the expectation is. And we all said, "Don, you got a real good film and real good look at TFA when they went over there and then play up there and play against Tennessee. So you got some
Coach,
look at it. So Edgewater.
don't beat around my question now. I
Well,
said 150 yards, over or under. Do you think the TFA defensive line will hold up over or under 150 yards for Mr. Perry on the ground?
I'll tell you
Hey,
this right here.
everybody out there, y'all drop it below. Hey, coach, we gotta be able to put coach on mute for a second if he don't want to answer the question. If he don't want to answer the question, we gotta put him on mute. Tremaine, do something. You hear
All
me?
right. All right.
Because
Okay,
Why I
let
need
me
to
get to you.
why I
he
need to put him on
dancing
mute?
like James Brown all around his question. I'm
Why I need
talking
to
about
put
he dancing
why I need to put him on mute? Why I need to put him on
because
mute?
he don't want to answer the question.
Well,
Eh,
here's your answer. Here's your answer.
there it is.
Just
No,
pick it.
no, knowing what I know about the coaching staff over there at TFA, that D line and linebacker core, I say under 150.
No.
Under 150 for
So
Perry.
I got a
Hey
question.
Perry.
No, I got a question real quick because somebody talked about on the top
Yes, sir.
10. Where did how did TFA name just get up to so popular now? We've been talking about them week by week. Is it the coaching decision that came over? He's the man that's making this big change, and why we're talking about him week over week.
The coaches that
Okay.
the coach that came over.
Yes, because the well, I ain't never heard nobody talking about no TFA since I've been here. This year we've been hearing
Well,
from week from week
I
from
got
week.
you. Okay, well, when you got Coach Jeff Conaway came last, this is his second year as a head coach. He took over the realm after Leroy Kennard went over to Innovation High School, and he came over and have a relationship and reach out. There's one thing about it: when you come in this town, is you got to find out who's them guys, who's that guy, what the case might be. And we all know Stephen Moffitt. I mean, you already know how he played in high school. Now he played at UCF, and know what he done as a coach. And he went to Leesburg and changed the whole game in Leesburg. So getting Stephen Moffitt, and he knows how to way around athletes and bring them over and get people to not buy in. They already bought in to come to TFA. So when you come over there and you bring it in, like I said before, the defensive side of the ball, like Devin Jackson committed to Florida Gators, right? And then you got Noah Maddox as a freshman All-America, Adidas All-America lined up there in the middle. So you got a man in the middle, got a guy in the back that controlled a lot. They got cornerbacks, you got Bam, right? You got Daniel Campbell on the Campbell family. His uncle plays at was at North Carolina State. Now he at App State. His other uncle played at West Virginia. So you got a lot of great talent in the bloodline down there, and the coaching staff that they brought over with them. I mean, and what here's the ice on the cake. They're not afraid to play big time football. They pack up a team, big time teams out of the country or out of the state is huge. To line up to play against against Edgewater, where they got Sanford on the books. I mean, you got to put them in the bracket like Bishop Moore and other schools, so they can play against Power. I call them Power Five high schools. So you got to give them props
All
for
right.
that.
All right. TFA. TFA has had an influx of kids and talent this off season. Okay. Um, that's why we're paying attention. A lot of these kids came from Leesburg, and they were excessively good. They are playing now at TFA. Not just those kids, but there's been a couple of guys, including uh, Mr. Jean
Yeah.
Pierre. He's on the line. He is a All American. He used to be a
Yeah.
freshman All American as well.
Yes.
Um, and a couple of other, Mr. 18, Mr. Blaze. I can't remember
Blaze
Blaze's last
Jones.
name.
Blaze Jones.
Blaze Jones. That's one of the guys that came over from Osceola and was an instant impact in their Lido game. He had a fumble recovery to the house. I want to say it was about 40 plus yards. So I'm gonna say this. All right. I didn't like that Edgewater gave up 40 something points. Okay. In this game, Edgewater is going to have to play on both sides of the game. This is going to be a sneaky game for Edgewater, I believe. If Edgewater comes into the game unprepared or just feeling that they can overpower this game without respecting their opponent, they may be in for a long game. The first game that TFA played, it was 77 points put on the board versus Lido. The last game that they just played, um, it was 28 to 23. And I want to say that one of those points came off of the defense. So their defense, that TFA defense, usually doesn't allow over 20, 21 points directly. Um, so it will be a feat. I will say this will be a game. But coach, who do you like in this game? The high-powered Edgewater offense or the balanced attack of TFA?
Well, I know you all say I like to dance around a little bit. I mean, I got much respect, much love for both the head coaches,
Yes,
Coach
sir.
Cameron Duke
You
and
got
Coach
to.
Jeff Conaway. Man, you got to give respect. You got to give respect for both of them, and kudos to both of them for willing to play each other and line up and put their name, you know, what I mean, to the test as an Eagle against the Royals and line up and get beat. And for the Royals to come in, let's be battle tested. But at the same time, you know, when you look at a two-time state runner-up, an undefeated season, a district champion versus another program that's up and coming. When all said and done, I like fourth quarter Edgewater.
Yes, sir. I am going to concur on that one. Okay. The one thing about it is intangibles. All right. Edgewater is playing at Edgewater. And Lord knows when you come up in there and they do that eagle walk all the way around the stadium. They go all the way around the stadium. I swear it sends chills toward down my spine every single time. You hear me? So,
Yes, sir.
by all means, I would give the edge to Edgewater just because of the intangibles, uh, as well as they're the bigger team in this battle. But do not sell TFA short. They have a couple of big time players in Mr. Meach, the Meach Show himself, um, Demetrius. I forgot
Amen.
his last name,
Yeah.
but yes,
And
sir.
you got to look
Now
at and you
let's
got to look
go
at
on.
and you got to look at TFA. And I got to give credit. You got Noah Devine and you got All American Chance Barkley on that line. Woo! You know, we had Chan Barkley on the show, and this guy right here is just a leader, and he's gonna bring it, and they're not gonna back down. So, hey, I'm so excited I get a chance to be at the game myself. So I'm excited to be there and watch it in action.
Just being honest, the variable that is going to be the outcome of this game is going to be the quarterback for TFA, Mr. Solomon Georges. Um, Depending on which Solomon actually shows up to the game, uh, they have a chance to win. They have a whole bunch of athletes, a whole bunch of talent surrounding him. All he has to do is get the ball to his playmakers. And then when he does, and things fall out of whack, he does have the ability to get out of there. So, by all means, Mr. Solomon Georges, make the right decision. Do not force anything and just take it one play at a time. Okay?
There you
But
go.
let's go on to the next
Wait.
game.
We got Mr. Wright.
Oh.
Mr. Wright. Who
Okay,
you got, Mr. Wright choice?
hold on.
Man, y'all know I'm in the back end doing all this work. So real quick, I'm gonna have I got Edgewater real quick. I got Edgewater on this.
Edgewater.
All right.
Okay. That's Edgewater. Number 3, Edgewater versus number 10, TFA. All three of us has chose Edgewater in this bout. Hey, I'm gonna tell you now, I don't like picking the versus Cameron Duke. Coach Duke, I love you, man. You my guy. All right. On to the next game. This is another big bout. Um, Seminole County versus Osceola County. Osceola Osceola Cowboys versus the Lake Mary Rams.
Hmm.
Both of these teams are coming off of wins last week. Osceola faced Treasure Coast where they put up 21-7. The final score was 21-7. Lake Mary also did the same, but they took the longer journey down south to Cardinal Gibbons High School, where they fought Cardinal Gibbons and put up a a a a surprising win. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised at least. They beat up on a South Florida powerhouse, and the score was 49-20, 49-21. All right, Coach. who do you like in this game? Talk a little bit about each team. Which team would you like to talk about first?
Well, I definitely got to go ahead and go with Lake Mary, just because I was just looking up something kind of
Okay.
crazy. Lake Mary is
Okay.
one of them teams. They're one of them teams that they don't bring in a lot of transfer. They don't do a lot of different
Nope.
things. A lot of Lake
Nope.
Mary players kind of come up together, and
Come out of
it's
Lake
go
Mary.
back to Lake Mary, that area, and it also comes down to where they came from in youth sports. When you're up there in the Sonoma County, most everybody stays in their area when they play football. Sanford go to Sanford, Lake Mary go Lake Mary, and so on. And that program always been a solid program for over 30 years, and did a lot of great things from
Yes, sir.
there. And so that's huge, and I know that's why the relationship with the youth sport program to the high school is so big. So you get someone like Coach Perry up there at Lake Mary that every year after year, people are saying picking them to beat power bigger beat Stanford or to beat Apopka, and they have done that. So that is huge for Lake Mary to continue going. So no one need to go anywhere. We're winning, and we're putting kids in college. So
Yeah.
that speaks volume there alone. Like I said, with Braden Marshall at UCF, man, he one of the top cornerbacks around last year. So that's big
Yeah.
volume. But and one thing I like now is everyone keep talking about Noah Grubbs, which is what you got to, because he's doing some amazing things to go down there and put up, all the points that he put up down there and down there. But it was his receiver, Isaiah. All them guys there did an amazing job. He put it in the place that somebody got to catch the ball. But then all of a said and done, they take pride in their line. They take pride in their trenches, right? So I don't know if you guys even know, if I'm correct, I might be wrong, but I think I heard where it says Noah Grubb have not been sacked like in 2 years, 2 seasons or something like that. So just think about it.
What?
Yeah, they were talking about his sack rating was so good that he haven't really been sacking his sack rating. So that go to tell you how strong that is for them and how they believe and how them coaches take pride in their trenches. So we got to start giving credit to the trenches itself. So it's Noah
Wow.
Grubb is there, the wide receiver Isaiah them is there, but I look at it like this right here. When you look at defense for them, you look at I call them the hard workers, right? They might have a truck driver over there. They might have a blue collar worker. They might have a mailman over there. They don't you don't look at them and say, "Whoa, boy, they got all these dogs, these raw talent." You look over there and say, they got guys that gonna line up. I know my position. I know my assignment. Get it done. Play football. Be in place to make a tackle. That's Lake Mary. And so when they go down, they shock you with that. You got a different mindset till they shock you with the defensive game, and Noah Grubbs go to work. That's Lake Mary right there. So you can't never count them out, and you better be ready because they will air raid you at the same time. Sliding over to Osceola with Coach Eric Pinellas is taking over that
Hello.
ham. Man, let me tell you something. He has some changes going on. Guys felt like they want to go to another program. Here, guys transfer here and there. He lost a lot of good guys. He lost one of the top cornerbacks, Jakeem Jackson. They go up there for the Gators, which are going to play this Saturday. We're excited about that. But he got some guys back, and they're back healthy. And that's going to be the big difference for a lot of teams for Osceola when they lined up against them, because these guys are healthy, right? You got Travion Swint is healthy, number one running back in the business. He's powerful, he's strong, and he got top end speed. You got Menendez, the Miami Hurricane commit. He's gonna come down here. That man look like Tarzan and play like Godzilla. So ain't no Tarzan play like look like Jane. This man here he's different, and that's why Miami say we want you, and that's the difference there too. So I just them guys on either side of the ball, they are playmakers and they make plays. So this definitely gonna be a real good matchup because Lake Mary don't bow down to nobody, and Osceola is Osceola Cowboys with a K.
So I'm gonna be completely frank. Um, I'm a little bit concerned for my Osceola Cowboys. If you guys know me, I started here in Osceola, covering the Cowboys in that community. Uh, but I am a little concerned for my Osceola Cowboys. Last week they put up 21 points. but this is a team that just went up and put 49 on a South Florida team. Um, and to be honest, completely honest, I was a little bit concerned about the Bishop Moore loss for Osceola during the preseason. But again, it was preseason. But the one thing that I took from that was that they went at our cornerbacks, at the Cowboys cornerbacks. And our cornerbacks did not look good in that second half. So, with this team in Lake Mary being a air raid team, and that's their strength, Mr. Noah Grubbs, um, I think that is our Achilles heel, Cowboys. But
Cowboys.
again, where do you think that we stand? I really think that the Cowboys need to come out with a keep away plan, keep the ball out of their hands, slow roast the game, and slow play it. If we could get a couple of stops and slow play the game, by all means, this could be a game that we can definitely walk out of there with a W. But if not, Mr. Noah Grubbs is gonna have a field day. Hello.
Well,
All right.
I tell you, well, hey, listen, this is it. You got one of the top quarterbacks in around, top running backs. Got a lot of top players. You know what I mean? Sometimes they rise to the top. When all said and done, they put it together. You know, you got a lot of sleeper guys out there want to know about. The guy that can sneak up on you like the AJ, the Flash Jenkins. You got Jamar Bradford and guys out there. So you got some players out there that can make some plays and get the job done throughout their Osceola. The coaching staff is always coming through trying to put it together. So this game is a tough one. It is a tough game, but right now Lake Mary is on a high. They're on a roll. They're doing a lot of great things. Um, the home team, is Osceola, right?
Is it? I thought it was at Lake Mary. I believe it's at Lake Mary. If it's at
Uh,
Lake Mary,
mm.
I believe it's at Lake Mary. If it was in Osceola, oh, it would have been a problem for them. You hear me? Hey, I'm talking about the barn would have been shaking. You hear me?
Yeah.
But we're
Uh,
talking about this game will be in Lake Mary, and I tell you one thing: Osceola usually travels extremely well. They will have a big following, a big crowd behind them. But again, you got to deal with a different beast in that offensive passing game. And then you're gonna tell me that he hasn't been sacked in 2 years?
Man, listen, that's what is the last story that
Two
came out.
years?
Yes, he let it rip quick. He let it rip fast. I mean,
Mm,
they're gonna corral and be in play for Travion Swint. But my pick for this one right here, hometown, Lake Mary.
all
Who you
right.
got, Cat?
Honestly, I'm going with my heart. Osceola.
All
Hey,
right.
Mr. Eric Pernellis EP is gonna pull it out. You hear me?
All right.
There it is.
So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on this pick right here, you guys. I ain't gonna go too much in depth, but I'm the timekeeper. I know we got our 3 games of the week pick. I know it's getting late.
Okay.
We got still got our people on. Before we get off, I want to make sure that we show some love to our four players that make the 53-man roster. Just a quick recap, real quick, Kat. Let's go through the 3 picks real quick. So the first game is Apaka versus Evans.
Apopka
Co-
versus Evans.
Coach Lowe picked Apaka. Cat picked Apaka. Myself, I picked Evans. Second round
Correct.
matchup, we have TFA versus Edgewater. I picked Edgewater. Who you had, Cat?
Edgewater as well.
Coach Lowe, who you had?
Edgewater.
So 3-0. So the last game of the week we have here: Rams versus Cowboys. I have Osceola. Cat has,
Osceola.
and then Coach Lowe, who you had?
Lake Mary.
All right, and so we got two against one. So next week on Wednesday, we're gonna figure out who got the best rating out of all three of us. So,
No, no, we doing that on Sunday. Wrap up,
oh
baby.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey,
Sunday rapper. Yeah,
y'all
yeah,
make
yeah, yeah.
sure y'all tune in on Sunday. If you don't do anything, come back and let's see who really know what they talking about. You
Talking
hear me?
about that's right. Okay, we got that Sunday high school wrap up Sunday. We'll break down
Yes,
what
sir.
the top 10 ranking, the new set of top 10 rankings. Somebody wins, somebody got to lose, right? We'll talk about the player of the week. We'll throw the player of the week up there also, so they'll come up too. But like you said, let's drop it now, right now, with our
So,
53-man roster for the NFL.
so real quick, so I can go in order real quick. Call out rounds first. Do
Yes, sir.
49ers second, Patriots, and then Colts. So
Let's
I
do
got
it.
I got the kids pulled up. So go ahead and start off with Rams.
Hey, right from born and raised, we got a Popka, played at Wekiva, committed, played at Clemson, freshman All American, went to the LA Rams, right? And now he has now made his dream come true. His dream
Yes,
come
sir.
true. Tyler
Tyler
Davis,
Davis.
53-man roster, LA Ram. Let me get two claps.
Hey,
Yeah,
big salute to you, Tyler. I recorded him when he was in high school with Kyver. One of the
mm-hmm.
best defenses that I have ever seen. One of those kids from that exact same team also made a 53-man roster.
Yes, yes,
He's coming up as well. Go ahead,
exactly.
All
coach.
right.
All right, coming up next, right? Once again, another one right out there in the Popka. We also play right next to Tyler, right? Talk about he scored, we
Ooh.
scored, cornerback. Then committed to the Florida State University. Y'all see it in the back. Y'all make us know us. Give me two clap for the cornerback, Renato Green, one of the 49ers. Let me get two claps. Woo!
Hey, Renato Green, one of the best safeties that I've seen from out of here in Orlando. Played on that same Wakava team. The only team could that could deal with y'all that year was Mandarin. And to be honest, that was Carson Beck. That's the only reason why you guys weren't state champions that year. I love y'all though. Love y'all boys.
Yeah, they
All
Straight
got
up.
us.
right.
They got us.
So
All
who
right.
we got up next, Coach Lowe? Patriots, baby.
Listen, coming up next, hey, this is not a popular guy. This is a true. What people might not know, he's straight from Miami. Yes, he's from
Hello.
Miami. Came
Really?
up, yeah, right from Miami. Came up, went to Olympia High School, stayed there, locked in. Had the quarterback had the strongest
No doubt.
arm I ever seen in my life. 707, he was throwing the ball like a doggone rocket. Right, went to the University of Michigan, graduated, left there with 2 degrees, went to Tennessee, Rose Bowl MVP. Now he on a 53-man roster for the New England Patriots. Let me get two clap for Joe Milton. Woo!
Hey,
Big,
that's
big Joe
that.
Milton.
And man, he been getting a lot of love on like from his arm, bro. Like he get a lot of praise. How good he's been looking. I've been hearing.
He looks good,
It's
bro.
a gift.
Like
It's a
really good.
it's a gift. It's a gift from that's just straight up a gift. He know how to use it. He trusted it. He believed in it. They tried to get him all play all type of positions, tight end, this and that. No, in his heart, that's what he was. And know what the head coach of New England Patriots said, that's what I am. So he's on the roster, baby.
Hey, that's
Okay.
a true blessing right there. Yeah, the NFL a dream. That was you always say, Coach
Yes,
Lowe.
I always say it. Yes, sir. NFL's a dream, a college degree of reality, but they made their dream come true. So they got the best of both worlds. And
Yes, sir.
last but not least, now all the way right there, a family from Tallahassee, dad that played up at Florida State. There another, but he actually this kid coming up right now. I'm telling you, I didn't know what expectation. He grew like so many inches out of nowhere, right there from a core pot Warner. Went over to West Orange, locked in, committed to Mizzou, Missouri. Left Orlando, went up to the snow to Missouri, and ended up being one of the best
Okay.
kids out there. And right now, 53-man roster for the Indianapolis Colts. Let me get two clap for Jalen Carlos.
Hello.
Man, quick question. What
Oh,
position
I
is he playing?
remember his face, coach.
Look,
Yeah,
what position he playing with number 57?
I remember him.
linebacker.
They moved him to LB.
He big boy, big, strong, fast,
I know
solid.
he
With
came. He
he
came
can
to the
cover.
studio. He talks very
Yeah,
well too, man. Talk very
yeah,
well.
and he can
I
cover. So
remember him.
yeah, he
Cat,
can cover.
you think you remember everybody? He
No,
R
I
and R baby.
remember him.
He
Nah,
R and R
he's
baby
not an
too.
R&R
You are
baby,
now,
but
baby.
Oh, let's
no,
keep it real though. Hey,
he played
that tells.
on coach's team. He
Well,
played on your 7-on-7 team.
Yes, sure did. Back in the
He
day,
did. I
him and
remember.
Lovey and Dexter Rents. I had all of them with Coach
Yep,
Odom.
yep,
Coach
yep.
Odom, all of them was the
Straight
coach
up.
back then on that little group we had for a
Straight
moment.
up.
So pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
don't call out my age now, man. Chill out.
Look, but real quick, everybody who watching this, we only wanted to drop 4. I know it's getting late, but we actually have 21 players. You know, Orlando still don't make you pay for things. That's why I couldn't pull it up. We ain't paying for that. But no, there are actually 21 players from Central or Orlando. You guys, Orlando, that's in the NFL. 21
Hold on.
players.
I thought you were gonna tell me about Mr. Weaver that came from OCP.
Well, yeah,
Well, he
but well, there's a lot of guys out there, but we didn't want to keep going to everybody. We'll be here all night. I can talk
Hello.
about Weaver.
Hey,
I can talk about Brandon
hey,
Hill. I can talk. It's so many, but we want to just.
I shot Weaver too. That my boy right
Yeah,
there.
I
Big
know.
Yeah,
shouts out
Yeah,
to you,
there's a
Weaver.
whole lot.
Big
it's
Weaver
so
big
is
many.
shouts out to you, baby.
look. Weaver
Listen,
Weaver do get some love though. I will say he gets some love because he didn't. I don't know
How
if he
about
went to.
you, P?
He didn't go to. He
what,
didn't go to. Did he go to draft? He didn't go to. Did he go to his draft day? He was hurt, right?
I think he was I think he was I think
he
he
went
was
to UCF, then went to Colorado, and
what you
went from
call
there.
it? Unsigned. I think he was unsigned and made a roster.
Well, that's
Exactly. But
great,
like I
man. He's
say,
like
listen,
Arizona.
it's a lot of guys out there that made practice squad like Tanner Ingle. You got Noel Pollard, right? Say you got the Xavier Weaver that
Hey.
made a 50-man roster. And you have it's a lot of them out there, man. You got Mario Kendricks that's out there that's still playing.
Wait,
So you got Brandon Hill.
you said
I get
DP Mario Kendricks came from where? Mario came
Osceola.
from Osceola.
Viola.
Who
Yep.
else you said?
I
And
have Brandon
Tanner
Hill
Ingle
from
was from
Wekiva.
DP.
You got Brandon Hill from
B
Wekiva.
Hill?
He's out
Where did
there.
he go?
He's still at the Houston.
Okay,
Houston, Texas.
okay.
So there's a lot of guys out there, but we'll touch base on them later.
All
But at
right
the
now.
same time,
With Kyle.
but if they want more information about how we're gonna break it down, guys, Coach Katt, Mr. Wright Choice, we're talking about that top 10. We got to break that down Sunday, right? We're gonna high school wrap up top 10, how they fared out in their game. The new top
All
10.
right.
Also gonna let everybody know that I'm gonna win when it comes to the 3 picks. Cat gonna get second and Mr. Wright gonna get third. We'll break that down right there. And then we're gonna go in and we're going to break down some of the college performances, some of our Central Florida players that play in college, that check out some of their performance on their high school wrap-up. We'll throw some bonuses in with them. And I want to pick up Player of the Week, How You Feel shirt from Coach Lowe for life. Right there, we got to throw that in, Player of the Week. So make sure you're going to get ready to lock in. Hey, Coach, Mr. Wright, let them know how they can go in and pick Player of the
Oh
Week,
yes.
vote the poll, break that down.
So real quick, it might not be this week, but probably next week. We're gonna have People's Choice that you guys are going on sportsclubflorida.com and pick the picks, and also we're gonna have another one for our game of the week since we're doing 3. Well, right now it's 3. You guys are gonna go in and pick the play who you think the player of the game is on the website too. So that should be coming up next week. So what we want to do, we want you guys to pick and choose who you thought the player of the game was, and then out of them 3. We're going to pick who we think the player of the week is from the 3 that you guys picked. So those are 2 things that's coming up. And I always want to give shout out to Coach Lowe, Excel Speed, and also Kat with R&R Sports Media that handles all the stuff in the youth world. That's been seeing these kids transition to the high school. And also Coach Lowe has been training these kids from youth to high school, seeing them in college and also pro. So big shout out to these 2 right here because we wouldn't be able to do this show without these 2 and their knowledge because it's all about being knowledge and being credible. Really big on that, you guys. These kids, they seen these kids while they was little and seeing them from high school and college and being credible and seeing the talent at a young age. So the reason they're doing this, you guys, and the reason I want them on here is because they're credible. They've been around the community, and it's all about being in the community. You're not nothing if you're not in the community doing anything and making an impact. And these two guys are making an impact. I don't care what you guys say. If you ain't out there putting boots on the ground, don't talk. And that's just me. I'm always going to be real. So I want to thank everybody who's on here that came on here tonight and listened to us. I know it's late, but it looks like late is good though, because we was at like 20 or 30 people on. And I want to shout out. Hold on, real quick before I get off. Tony Icky. Tony Icky. I want to show. Thanks for coming on live. He said he wanted to share, but he got the boot out all the. He can't share no groups because he got the boot out of all of them. We already know why, but appreciate you thinking about doing. Appreciate you thinking about doing.
I didn't boot him out. I didn't boot him out. I didn't boot him out, so I share him. Tell him he can share mine. I didn't boot him out. I'm good.
So Tyrone Smith said under on the running back prior. I thought the running back. He said
Josh
under.
Perry.
Under.
Yep.
He said under.
And, yep. Derek Clark said 150 plus.
Whoa.
Okay.
Cornelius.
He said Baker.
He gave a fist 100. Jerome Dupree. He said go E-High. I had some more on here I seen, but I don't know why it's not pulling up. Let me go to my page real quick. Split it up and show their faces each week, then draft since it can't be mentioned. Oh, Cassie. Tony just said he laughed and said, I just got blocked from 7 more days. Well, Tony, just cool off for a whole week, and then you can share next week. Because since today is Wednesday, if you can count well, today's from Wednesday to Wednesday, 7 days. So next Wednesday you can share. So that's all I got.
Make sure. So everybody, make sure that on Sunday you guys tune in to Sports Club Florida as we come back for the high school wrap-up show where we'll go over our top 10 live as well as our picks, our last picks. Anything else? Anything else we need to talk about, y'all?
Hey, you guys, we would have started on time, but Katt is fashionably late, so don't worry about any of that.
Hey, I'm here. Though. Hey, I am right here. Though. I know you're here.
Hey, listen. We're just getting started, as you can see, and we're getting it going. But I'm telling you, it's gonna get bigger and better. We're excited. I hope we get y'all a good insight. Thanks for hanging strong with us. And I'm telling you, Sunday, high school wrap up. Monday, Coach's Corner with Coach Lowe. And let me get to class.
And we out.
Hello.
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change. Hand on the wheel, they think we lacking the drive. Boy, you should stay in your lane. Foot on the gas, I do not care.